Lindsey Graham says that a Trump indictment will likely make him the GOP nominee. I saw something like that
Yeah, it's
somewhere.
probably like that here. Okay, so
anyway, I'm like, yeah, that's what
I told Peter this when he was trying to tell me Ron DeSantis had a chance, but.
Well, yeah. I didn't. I mean, look.
No, and
we
he
really
still
think that
does.
This was potentially. He still does. I mean, it's still a year out, but I would definitely say that in accordance with what they're planning to do now, and I do believe that a lot of this is intentional, that by indicting Trump, you're basically handing him, like a firecracker that he hasn't had since 2016,
he
2018.
Loves the media. Well, it's free media and it's constant and it's what he had last time. Like it works. And nobody cares that it's negative.
I just got back to New York, and I have to tell you, the people of New York, they're really great people. It's great to be back at Trump Tower. I know you're going to be covering my story tomorrow, but I just want to let everybody know I'm going to be fine. They're not going to do anything rash. I totally have this under control.
You look like a rash.
Look, listen, I look really great. What are you talking about? You know how I know I look great?
No.
Because the polls look great. The polls look incredible. Ron DeMeatball Sanctimony is totally losing it right now. He has no opportunity. He'd be a total fool to get in this race, believe me when I tell you. I totally am going to win the nomination, and Sleepy Joe will be put out to pasture, and we will make America great again.
Again.
In 24. We're coming back. We're coming back.
We totally agree that Sleepy Joe is going out to pasture. That we agree on.
No, and he's totally destroying this country from the inside.
Yeah, because you did such a
because I did a really great job. I said that I would never cut Medicare or Medicaid or any of those other wonderful
You didn't start
programs.
any wars, I'll give you that.
No, that's true, but I totally have a wonderful drone program, so we only kill the bad people, not the innocent people.
I still think Obama takes the record on the drone kills.
Obama is a really terrible person. He kept saying that I was a bad president. Believe me when I tell you, he's never experienced what I've experienced. I am a really, really oppressed individual. Obama could never, ever claim he's gone through what I've gone through.
Okay.
I'm a totally, totally oppressed person.
And so are you going to talk about this indictment, and are you going to...
This is a totally phony, terrible indictment. I would never stoop to the level of actually getting in bed with that trashy star of porn, Stormy Sloppy Daniels. She's a really terrible person.
If only I could run a slideshow of all the women that you've hooked up with.
I have really great taste in women, believe me. Much better than Mr. Clinton's, I must say.
Well, that is true.
No, I totally do. And believe me, I can do so much better than Stormy. She just couldn't handle rejection, so now she's suing me. What a terrible person. Am I right, Jordan? Tell me I'm right. I'm totally right about this.
I'm not... I just think it's good practice. Nobody in the media would care to follow this, but nobody knows what's actually in the indictment. So there might be stuff in there that we're actually surprised by. Assuming it's what we think it is, which is just, Trump did some shady accounting to hide payoffs to multiple women, not just Stormy Daniels. I think it's... I'm okay with it only because I think a lesser person would be charged if he, used campaign funds or things like that. To me, I don't really focus on this case as much because it's small ball compared to what I actually think potentially he could be convicted for, which a lot of people don't believe Donald Trump could be convicted. I think he would off himself before going to jail. But I actually think Donald Trump could be convicted over the classified documents case. There was more information that came out about that over the weekend, but kind of got swept under the rug with this.
There was interference, right? I saw something about that there was an interference at Mar-a-Lago.
Basically Trump himself going through the boxes. Donald himself going through the boxes after being subpoenaed and kind of sorting through, taking some stuff out, keeping moving, because in American history, we know that if you piss off the CIA, if you piss off the FBI, you piss off the generals, they hold a grudge, and it could be fatal. And I think the fact that, by all accounts, because the DOJ has been leaking stuff to the New York Times, the Washington Post, he had documents about nuclear programs. He had documents about human sources, i.e. spies. And there was an increase in the deaths of spies abroad in this same period. To me, that's a pretty cut and dry case. I don't know what Trump's defense can be, because you can't like wave a wand and say it's privileged when I haven't been president for a year. But on this tomorrow, it absolutely martyrs him It absolutely, will jack his approval ratings and polling better. It seems that DeSantis, in a controlled environment where he controls the media in Florida, does very well and uses his bully pulpit. But outside of that, he's afraid to punch Trump in the face, which is the only way you're going to beat Trump. He's afraid to even mention Donald Trump by name because he's deathly afraid of losing Trump's base. But you're going to have to take Trump's base. And the only way you could do that is by being as aggressive, as fierce, as over the top, and as charismatic as Trump, because that's what they're going for. It's the WWF aspect of it.
I think he's hoping that they'll find a way to keep him from running. And again, he still hasn't even announced that he's in the race.
Believe me when I tell you, I can run from anywhere. I'll run from the cops. I'll run in jail. I'll run all the way to the White House.
Hillary's running
really
too,
fast.
running to Columbia.
The fact that Columbia hired that really terrible person. Hillary can only get hired by a crooked university. The system's broken.
You mean like Trump University?
That's a really great university. It was just totally misunderstood. But believe me when I tell you, we are coming back. We're making America great again. In 24. See you at the news. The press. The indictment tomorrow.
Big
whatever
indictment.
You want to call it. Great to see you all.
But the interesting thing, Donald, is it's possible that a judge issues a gag order on him tomorrow to not talk about this. And he's already set up this press conference at Mar-a-Lago at night. So I think Trump, listen, he's kind of trying to make up for lost time being banned from Twitter, even though technically he's allowed back on Twitter now. So he's just trying to suck in that media attention. I think he loves this martyrdom aspect of it all. And I think he's trying to set the table that this is a political witch hunt like everything else, so that like the real heavy cases like classified documents, if he's charged for the Georgia stuff with the election, then it's just continuing that bubble of this is all the deep state and Soros and, nonsense. But it should be interesting because Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be leading a little pep rally in the city tomorrow. I believe there should be a good flock of Trump people out there. Hopefully it stays, peaceful and not violent. But it will be, it definitely will be popcorn worthy.
Yeah. I mean,
let's just say, by the way, how dramatically things change over 20 something years. I mean, the Republican Party wanted to impeach Bill Clinton over a blowjob. There was plenty of things to impeach Bill Clinton on legitimately. That I don't think was one of them. But now it's like, it's just an accounting thing paying off the porn star. Who cares?
Again, it's like the violation of the Emoluments Clause. It's the most obvious crime that he committed as president. He's had, he
was impeached twice.
Again,
it's not like he wasn't impeached. It's just that doesn't mean anything because it doesn't mean anything.
You can argue that basically Joe Biden has had Hunter do ostensibly the same thing that Trump has been having Jared Kushner do for the past several years, which is just act as a proxy for these illicit deals that they do, which basically means that there's a reason why those cases never get tried. Because that is the rot of the system.
Jared Kushner's a whole hell of a lot smarter than Hunter Biden.
He certainly is. And Jared Kushner's father went to federal prison for very similar crimes. So the fact that they've been able to get away with this is crazy. We'll just touch on real quick what to know about Trump's indictment. Former President Donald Trump is expected to be arraigned on about 30 charges in New York tomorrow. The indictment remains sealed, so the exact charges are still unknown. They're expected to be related to hush money payments made ahead of the 2016 election to two women who claimed to have had affairs with Trump. He has denied the affairs and any wrongdoing. Trump was indicted last week by a Manhattan grand jury convened by District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Trump is the first former president to have been impeached twice and the first to be criminally indicted. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia plans to host a protest with Trump supporters in New York at 10:30 tomorrow morning. So there you go.
Look, I think when people do things that are wrong, they should be held accountable. I do. I think that. But there's things that we all sort of rank in our head from bad to worse, like in terms of what is more reprehensible. And to me, they always go after people for things that I don't give a shit. Like there are so many horrible things that are going on that are happening, like war crimes and people drinking toxic water and things that are really fun. Like, that's the stuff I care about and the corruption surrounding those things, because that's what affects regular people or killing regular people in places like Yemen or whatever. That I care about. The porn star being paid off by his doesn't even register as remotely important to me. So I get it. You got to go after him because it's illegal. But it's infuriating when you think about the past 4 administrations.
Well, it really comes down to there might be something in there that we don't know. That could be beyond Stormy Daniels. Donald Trump, I mean, Peter, you're from the Northeast. You got 40 years of Donald Trump and his father committing crimes. So I don't know if there's something more recent in there. And by the way, the Southern District was communicating with a New York Attorney General, Letitia James, and they were kind of working together. So there might be more than we know. And it might be, not to go in the weeds, but essentially the district attorney that was leaving didn't want to charge Trump. And Bragg, the current one, when he came in, there was pressure on him to charge Trump. And he chose not to for a while. And I think it's because he felt just on Stormy Daniels wasn't enough. So I think they worked. I could be wrong, and it might just be. But I think there's going to be more in there. I don't think it rises to the level of jacking, the nuclear codes or nuclear documents from the White House. But I also think at the end of the day, we need to stop normalizing corruption. So even if it's a mundane, run-of-the-mill violation, politicians shouldn't get special preferences. And I think we need to retroactively go back after this.
That's the thing.
And George W. and Dick and Obama and Joe and Hillary, because I would have been in jail if I had a private server as a government official and was emailing.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.